Alright, in this video we're going to have a look at this Pelsee 2-in-1 jump starter and air compressor. It's the E1 model. These are really handy devices to have in your vehicle, especially if you're a traveler and you're going to be spending some time on the road. It takes up a lot less space than a set of jumper cables. You don't need to rely on other people to get you out of a jam, and it does a lot more than that. This one also has an air compressor so it can blow up tires and inflatable items. Has a real nice carrying case, little carrying handle, and that's all the bigger it is, so that'll fit in a pretty small space in the trunk of your car. So I suppose this is the device over here. Let's have a look at that. About the size of a modern day iPhone. It's got some weight to it. Comes with your jumper cable adapter, and this is just plug and play. Plug it in, connect it to your battery, which we'll do a little bit later in the video, and I'll show you how that connects. It's got some information here on the back of the adapter. Tells you the specifics about the adapter. You've got an air tire inflator or inflating air mattress or rubber raft or something like that. And some accessories. Upgrade your warranty, support, activate and upgrade your warranty, and then a small user's manual. Has a USB-C to USB-A adapter, and this is for charging the unit itself. It contains its own battery, so as long as you keep it charged, it'll be waiting in your trunk, ready for emergencies. And it can also be used as a backup power bank. And then you've got some adapters here for tire or ball inflator and different types of inflatable devices. On the side, picture of a car here where you plug in your jumper cables. Nice grippy texture on the back, and then on the top you've got the plug for your air hose, and then these are your USB ports. So it has two USB-A plugs for charging, like phone chargers and that sort of thing, and then the USB-C is for the included cable for charging the battery inside the unit. So a long press should turn it on. You've got bar and PSI, so you've got various different forms of measurement. kPa, kilograms per centimeter squared, bar, and in the US we typically use PSI. Then you have the different modes, and it'll show you an icon across the bottom. You've got car tires, motorcycle, bicycle, and they've got an inflatable basketball here. So it'll start out with just a preset setting of 36 psi, and if you want to change that, you can use the plus or minus buttons to adjust the setting, because once it reaches the programmed psi that you have set, it'll stop inflating. You've also got this emergency light over here on the side, so you press this, hold this button, and your light comes on. That's just the standard mode, and then you press it again, you've got a flashing light. One more time brings you to the SOS feature, so if you're stuck on the side of the road, that can be real handy to let people know that you need some help. And you've got a red strobe as well, just to get people's attention. So let's plug in the air hose here, and it just screws into this location on the top of the unit. And then you've got the standard air filler style end on it. You can either connect it to your valve stem or use the adapters, one of the adapters that comes with it for different types of applications. So let's just plug this into the car and see if we can air up a tire. We'll take the valve cap off of there and just test it with my regular analog tester and see where we're at. It's showing about 34 psi. I usually set them at 35. And we'll turn this unit on, and I think as soon as you connect the air hose, it should give us a reading. It's saying 32 psi, so we'll set it for 35 and press the on button, and hopefully it'll start filling it up. And once it reaches the pressure that you have set, it shuts off. So it worked just as they said it would. Builds up a little bit of heat in the hose, And the connector looks kind of flimsy, so it has a plastic handle on it. Be careful with that. If you break that, it doesn't matter how well the unit works. You're out of luck. But we're up to 35 psi. And that's how you use the air compressor to fill up your car tires. I do like the fact that you can set this to a pre-setting. Just let it go and it'll fill it up to wherever you need it to be. All right, let's convert it to, like I say, we're going to jump start our car. Now my battery is not dead and it doesn't need a jump start, but we'll show you how to hook it up. It seemed to do okay on the tires. I filled up all the tires, topped them off to the 35 psi, and it stopped every time at 35 psi, and it seemed to do a nice job. It's not super fast, but I think it'll save you if you're stuck on the side of the road somewhere and need to get a tire aired up. So on this end is where you plug in the cord, and this can only go in one direction, so you can't get it wrong. Looks like it goes this direction. It gives us a flashing green light on the side and a flashing red light. I'm not sure what the flashing red is. Let's plug it into the battery. Now this side is my positive and the back is my negative. And once I hooked it up, the red light went away and it just has a solid green light. I can hear it clicking. I guess it doesn't necessarily need to be on. It looks like it's ready to go. It does have reverse polarity protection, so if you were to hook it up incorrectly, it's supposed to not harm either the unit, the battery, or the vehicle. Let's try it and see what happens. I've got the positive on the negative, and this would be wrong. All right, so it gives you a solid red light and an audible alarm that you've got it connected wrong. We'll go back and connect it up the way it should be. Once it detects that the connection is correct, it starts to click and it's ready to jump start the car. You could hop in, crank it over, and if you're having a good day, it'll start your car. So that's a super handy feature. Way better than carrying jumper cables and trying to flag somebody down to help you out. You're independent with a device like this. You could just do it yourself. So I think it's a pretty nice device, and it will pump up your tires if you need to. I'll put links for this unit in the description of the video. Hope the video helps you out, and we'll see you on the next video.